I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Brian. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, whether it be a topic, reaction, review, re-review, out of the blueness, pretty much any type, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Fritz the Cat. Now, I've seen Fritz the Cat a couple times and always enjoyed it. I think this and the sequel 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat is coming out on Blu-ray soon. I would like to pick those up. I would like to see what those films look on HD, one day down the road. I don't think they're going to have anything for features. That's fine. I mean, it'd be nice to see what those look like in HD because, like I said, I like these films. The first one's directed by Ralph Bakshi. I know the second one isn't, but still has that same feel and look as this one does. And at the time, number one, it was created by this guy named Crumb, very eccentric individual in comic form. I know he wasn't a fan of the movie because the movie was, I guess, too political for his taste, among other stuff. There's friction between Crumb and Ralph Bakshi. Also, it was hyped as the first, X-rated animated film. I think when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be a porn film. Why'd you rent it? Curiosity. I'm like, I've never seen an X-rated porn cartoon. Let's see how this goes. And there's nudity, there's sex, but probably enough that it would, I think this would get like an R rating. I don't think it would get an NC-17 or, again, they don't have X ratings anymore. At the time, with the way things were in 1972, sure. Plus, it was good for their marketing. Because I think this did make quite a bit of money worldwide. But, yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be a porn film. But it's much more than that. It's a political film. Is very much showcases the 1960s. And I like this old school animation. I don't know what it is, whether it be in heavy metal or this movie. They may be crude or some would call them cheap. But I just like the way this animation looks. It's vibrant, it's stylized. For this film, it's very, very psychedelic. And this type of film would not be made today, whether it be just the concept, the assortment of titties. Well, I guess maybe if you're a furry, maybe you would make this film. But, other than furries, no one's really going to make this film because it'd be just too un-PC and too political. Well, it's political. This should be the film they made, since every fucking film gotta be political. But this is actually a good well crafted version of that. Because it's the 1960s, the years and decades of free love, and really sort of the... I don't know if I'd say this is a actual story being told. It's more like sort of the little adventures of Fritz the Cat. You know, Fritz the Cat, what he goes through, what he entails through his journey. As my cat wants to leave. Of course, right when I'm doing the review, I'll be right back. Call him Fritz the Cat. I'll leave it in. Might as well. I could edit that out, but I'll probably forget. So, why did you edit that out? Because I fucking forgot. But I was saying, this doesn't really have a story. It's more just... Fritz is out there with his buddies, playing their guitars. There's these three chicks. These three chicks are pretty much trying to get the attention of this black crow. The crows represent black people. And in a way, it's kind of interesting watches this again, because you have these three women trying to be, hey, I know what you're going through, and hey, I know I'm down with you. Like, they're talking as if they're black, or they're talking as if they know what the fuck is going on with black people and relations, and that sounds like some people today just... It's like, no you don't, shut the fuck up. You don't know a fucking thing about it. And you do get your sex in there. So Fritz is a player, and he's able to get all three of them. He's like, wow, 4 in bed, that's a kick I haven't tried. Able to get all 3 ladies in a fucking bathtub, and I don't know, you have a furry's wet dream where... What the fuck are they, like? One's a female cat, and the other's like dogs or something. I don't know. The titties and asses are abound, and he's being a player. You know, get some... What was the thing Robin Williams would do? Like... If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Robin Williams live on Broadway. It's fucking hilarious. I miss Robin Williams. Going off tangent. This whole fucking review is going downhill. But maybe that makes sense for Fritz the Cat, because this is a very psychedelic film. I love the use of colors in this. It's very vibrant color-wise. At certain pieces of direction. Like, there's a scene transition where you have an animal kind of just snapping his fingers as the screen, whatever's going to be the next scene, is going closer and closer and closer to fill in our TV screen, and then it moves on. It's like it wants to go on its own pacing. Like I said, it's pretty much just him, either the cops who are actually pigs ransacking the party, whether it be him, we see Fritz contemplating flashback style when he was growing up in college, and how it's all about notes and all this about, hey, why are we doing this thing with school and colleges? There's a whole world and ladies to fuck and all this other stuff to do. I'll go burn these notes. But then he causes a fire so big, it's oh shit, I gotta go get the blanket. Oh, now the blanket's on fire. That's a line that, for some reason, it made me laugh. Just that nonchalant, oh, the blanket's on fire. And then as a individual, I'm trying to think. Well, no, it's not really a flashback. This happens afterward. What I'm talking about, it's not a flashback. I don't know why I assumed it was a flashback. No, it's happened continuously after the other because he's on the run from the cops. He's like, why am I doing this with school? He burns his notes. Then he goes to a black, or in this case, a crow neighborhood. He starts, I don't know how the fuck you call it. Like, I wouldn't say he tries to act black, but he's like trying to be like, oh yeah, I get what you guys are going through. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Willis? Stealing cars and shit. And it's just showing, I just really showing sort of the chaos of love, but also death, but also the insanity, but also the want and ability to pull it out. And whether it be battle, war, whether it be love and free sex. There's a point where he gets to a big titty crow that shows him the ideals of pot. So he becomes, I guess, in this case, pot turns him even more horny. And this crow got titties the size of Buicks. So he's got the jungle fever on steroids. Even biting her tits. And instead of smacking him like most women would do, she seems to like it. And these are no points like, well, you ain't black enough for me. As in, his dick is about as small as a fucking thimble. And so he's disappointed, but she's like, ah, come here. So they must have the horizontal tangle for a while. I guess sex either fried his brain or did something, because he's now like, yes, I'm with you. We need to revolt. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Get back here. So instead of staying with the Poontang Pie, he decides to go revolt it because he thinks he's Malcolm X or something. So, hey, we need to riot and shit. But then it causes fucking chaos, people getting shot and killed, and this is what I'm talking about with the direction. I mentioned that one scene transition. This other bit where a character gets killed, and previously we've seen this character playing pool. They mimic the heartbeat. We see billiards, pool, cue balls dropping into pockets. And each time it's dropping to a pocket, it's synonymous with a heartbeat. And until the final crescendo of that. The way this juxtaposed with, again, the going into the pocket mixed with the heartbeat. You know what? I'm doing a bad job describing it, but maybe this is for the good. For people to actually sit and watch and know what the fuck I'm talking about. I thought that was a nice creative piece of direction. It's not something I would have thought of, but okay, that if you don't want to showcase that, it's a different way of doing it. And then you have this one girl with the, almost the, what the hell kind of glasses she wear? Sort of the John Lennon or Yoko Ono type of glasses. And pretty much wants to set Fritz straight, going on this road trip. And he kind of, I guess, realizes this shit's for the birds. Even calls her a motherfucking bitch. She's like, well, I'm a realist. Okay, I'm a mature woman. Okay, you got creative potential. Fuck you doing? Pretty much someone calling him out on his bullshit. He doesn't want to hear it. So fuck this, I'm going home. You also have like a Nazi rabid junkie biker. That's something it's not something you hear every day. It also shows that Fritz does have a heart to him, because you have this one woman who's this female horse who's getting the shit kicked out of her, and he tries to stop it. He gets his face fucked up, and he feels remorse about it. Like, he didn't do anything to her. It's just he realized that there's, you know, it kind of reminds me of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which is a film I love. There's a moment at the end where Johnny Depp, after all the craziness, Benicio del Toro treats this waitress rather like shit. And that's kind of the one cold splash of water, the one sobering moment for the character where maybe this is a bit too far. This is not good. This is not nice. That's one of those movies because you have Johnny Depp in that scene looking, he's not narrating, it's like, he sobered up. And in a way, this is sort of him going, you know what, you should not have done that to her. I think it's sort of finally something is getting into his brain here. The ending, I mean, it's a short film. It's a very short film. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. Like I said, I like the psychedelic animation Ralph Bakshi did back in the day. The fact is all anthropomorphic characters acting adult at least makes it unique. But it's not just porn. There is a story to it. Don't all porns have stories? Well, only the worst ones. But this one does. I mean, again, it's not a porn film despite the X-rated tag. It's not the very end I disliked. I'm fine with the very end. It's the finale which I felt was kind of weak. Because, spoiler alert, pretty much he gets kind of thrust into this whole bombing. And he kind of comes to the realization this is stupid. But then he gets blown up with the whole facility. So it didn't fucking matter if he realized it or not. It still got blown up regardless, so he didn't stop it, he didn't change anything, he didn't really do anything, just got his dumb ass blown up. Then he's in a hospital, you think he's dying, hey, sex comes to mind, I'm gonna have a foursome again, because there's 3 ladies that come by. Fuck it, and fuck them, literally. So now, I guess one of his 9 lives have caught up with them, and now he's rejuvenated. And it's a fun, jovial, crazy way to end the film. Okay, I'm fine with that. And also that horse is there. She's like, what the fuck is this about? Surprised she didn't join in. But it's the finale before that going, well, is that what it led up to? Kind of like, what was the point? Like, what was the point? Like, here's a bombing, you got yourself blown up, you're in a... I just kind of, that's the thing with the ending. I don't really know what the whole point is at the ending. If there's, since it's such a political movie, if there's something I'm supposed to garner from that or not. It just seemed before that, if he stopped the bomb, or if he took the bomb and threw it and it blew up the actual bombers, but that it blew himself up too. Like, if there was something... What's the word I'm looking for? Fritz accomplished something. I think that's the thing. Fritz doesn't really accomplish anything even by the end of this journey. Like, what has he accomplished? Nothing. So then it makes you go, well, what was the whole point of this journey we've taken with this character in the first place? I think that's what I mean with the finality of it. It just feels a bit empty because of that. Almost pointless. But then, you know, you have that ending where it's jovial and fun, and you got the titties again and all that. So it leaves it with a fun, goofy, you know, that kind of reaction. And, you know, the songs are, the music fits for what kind of film it is. Even though the Fritz the Cat theme fits for what it is. Yeah, it's one of those movies where I would love to hear, like, someone's commentary on it. Sort of get their 2 cents on it. But yeah, overall, I do like this film. I've always liked the film. I think I first saw it, if I remember correctly, Give me a minute to think. Sorry. Let's see. Was it... I'm trying to think now. It might have been around 2004, maybe? 2003, maybe 2004. It was somewhere around there, because I remember it was the first time I was in Texas, and I was looking around shops, so it might have been 2002. Might have been 2002. Because I think I was looking at a shop, and I'm like, what is that? Okay, what's this about? Sure, I'll give it a look. And then I'm like, oh, okay, it's not what I thought it was. It's a lot more political than I thought it was. I thought it was just going to be this raunchy porn film, and I'm just going to watch for the shits and giggles. But, okay, there's a bit more, it's saying a bit more than you would think. Now, by the end, I don't know exactly what it's saying by the finale of it, but, you know, about, again, the time and race and free love and how false some of that is, how bullshit some of that is, and how truthful some of that is. And believe me, there's a lot of smarter critics and people with a bunch of initials behind their names, and people who studied in film school that could dissect this film a lot better than me. All I'm going to say is, it was fast, it was short, you got titties. The voice actors, I thought, did a good job. I actually liked the voice of Fritz the Cat. I know that's another thing Crumb, the creator, did not like. He didn't like the guy who voiced Fritz the Cat. I thought he fit it fairly well. I like, they said, Ralph Bakshi's animation. If you don't know how that is, if you don't know who that is, look him up. I mean, he did Fire and Ice, he did Wizards, he did all these films around this time span. And I think he's still with us. I believe he's still alive. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And yeah, I think this is coming out on Blu-ray. I don't know when, but I'd be curious to check that out, to see what this looks like in HD. That and there's a sequel, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. Surprised there wasn't a third one. But I don't know, maybe the second one didn't do... Maybe it did so poorly they didn't do a new one. I'm surprised no one's ever brought back Fritz the Cat. Because even the name, there's some kind of recognition. Like I said, I'm surprised no one's ever brought it back. I'm not saying we need a remake, but you know how it is. I'm surprised they haven't done that in some way. Well, maybe I'm not that surprised. But with that said, enjoyable film. I do like it. It's definitely unique. It's definitely different. And creative. I like how creative it is. I like how visually creative it is. I appreciate that. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.